Hello everyone and welcome to a new Infinity Kingdom video. This is Kincaid from 49, and in this video guys I want to talk about the mixed march which has been appearing recently in IK with an insane rate. It is the Earth Air Earthwind mixed march, which is Alex, Hani, Zenopia, Emperor Ken, with an either Earth Dragon or a Wind Dragon. Recently a lot of people has switched from Wind to Earth Dragon because of the Dragon's talents. The Earth Dragons has an insane attack speed buff. One of the talents has an insane attack speed buffs, and this is why they are using it instead of the Wind Dragon. Also, the Wind Dragon got received a nerf recently, and right now it is only able to heal the Wind Immortals. So right now Alex is not receiving any heals from the Wind Dragon. This is why most of them switched into the Earth Dragon. I have here one of my alliance mates, which is Micro, is using this march. It is super strong. I have a lot of troubles dealing with such marches, especially if they are using it as a main march. The amount of damage that is coming from such march is truly insane. However, it still can be countered, and I'm not gonna talk about any specific march. I'm just gonna recommend some skills that will help you to deal with such an annoying march. So first of all, we need to notice that this march is providing only, or it has only physical damage, and the main damagers is the front line, which is Alex and Hannibal. Alex is using pinpoint damage. It is a single target damage. As you can see, he's using combo, unless someone is using cleave or heavenly thunder on Alex, but it's not the case here. As you can see, Hannibal Parker deals a lot of splash damage either from his ultimate skill. It increases the damage by 45%. This is a passive, and then each normal attack will cause 90% damage. This is something like cleave. However, it targets only one target. Cleave provides damage to 2 nearby enemy units. There's also Emperor Ken, who provide the same cleave to all Wind Immortals. If you have his artifact, the damage will be inflicted to 2 nearby targets instead of 1. So the march, as you can see, Alex has a pinpoint damage, and then Hannibal has a splash damage or an area effect damage. So how to deal with such march? First, as you can see, they are using a lot of grace, such as speed blessing, war blessing, and sometimes using defense blessing here. So we need to sustain as much damage as possible in the first 12 seconds of the battle, since this is the highest damage. This is where they provide the highest damage, the first 12 seconds of the battle. So what we need is a skill such as defense blessing. So we will match this skill. Let's build it right now. So a skill such as absolute defense is completely useless, since they don't deal a lot of high damage that is well, they don't deal a high damage in one skill such as Merlin. They all deal a lot of physical damage, but it is being shared on a lot of physical attack, a lot of normal attacks. So absolute defense heal will be completely useless. So I recommend using defense blessing instead. And even if you're not using it, make sure to use defense blessing. It decreases the damage taken by all your troops by 25% for 12 seconds of the battle. And since this march has only physical damage, you will of course need a skill such as Oaken Guard here. I explained Oaken Guard before, however, it still reduces the physical damage received by 3 random allied units by 50%. So you have a very high chance to sustain a lot of damage by the front row, since they are the ones that receiving the main damage. For 18 seconds, the damage will be decreased by 50%. This is even better than defense blessing here. However, both of the skills combined will provide a lot of sustain against such march. Also, make sure to use a physical shield in the immortal that you would like to survive the most. For example, I could use this on Attila. However, I'm using a defensive skill on Attila, which is Fighting Master. This one here reduces the physical damage taken by 15%. So I'm using this one here on my defense immortal, which is Ragnar. And I make sure that I place Ragnar in front of Alex to reduce the damage incoming from Alex. I keep Merlin away from the damage, and I use defense to protect him. I use assist to protect him, since he will be dealing most of the damage. I have a report here, not sure if I can show you the screenshot. Let me find it first. Again, it's the same march that I showed you guys. Even though he has this skill here, which is Jade Barrier. This skill is a nightmare for every mage in IK, especially Empress Wu. However, it could be countered still because the skill doesn't have a cooldown. The skill basically reduces magical damage received by the immortal that is using the skill by 15%. And when you receive magical damage, you have a 30% chance to apply shells to 3 random allied units up to 300%. The damage will be absorbed up to 300%. So the more magical damage you deal, the higher the chance that he will be able to apply these shields. So what you need to do is dealing less magical damage when it comes to quantity, however higher magical damage when it comes to the damage itself. This is why the skill doesn't really counter Merlin. However, I made sure that I removed Death Breath from my Attila when I played against him, because Death Breath provides a lot of magical damage. It is basically provides 8 magical damage, 4 magical damage every 6 seconds to all the immortals. And it is a 100%, it doesn't have a chance. So this is a lot of magical damage coming from Attila. So this is why I removed Death Breath from him, and I replaced it with Cleave, I think. Yeah, I replaced it with Cleave just for this fight. Let me show you the report. I think I can. Yeah, it was in Discord. Here it is. As you can see, Merlin barely didn't receive any damage because I kept him as far as possible from Hannibal Barca, the one who deals an area of effect damage. Ragnar still survived the attack from Alex, and Dido received some damage. Also, Attila received some damage. I wish I had the report itself to show you the stats of the fight. However, this happened a while ago, so I lost the report. And in this fight as well, he was using Jade Barrier, and it did not heal. It did 0 heals because Merlin doesn't do a lot of magical damage when it comes to quantity. He does so little magical damage, but the damage itself is very high. Unlike someone like Empress Wu, who does a lot of magical damage when it comes to the quantity. However, the damage itself might be a little less than Merlin. One more thing, guys, about an aura that you can replace with melee, since this mark doesn't really count on crit, is Paralysis. Paralysis is not really a famous aura at the moment. It's not in the meta. However, it is super important against a marsh such as the Earth Wind mixed marsh, because they count a lot on normal attacks. Basically, all the damage is coming from their normal attacks, so this skill decreases the attack speed of all enemy units by 15%. It is Super important to use this skill against such March, and don't ever use a skill such as Shelter or any type of healing immortals against this March, since they have Emperor Ken and is gonna disable all the heals on the March. This is how I countered the Earth Wind March. This is my input. If you have a better idea, a better skill that I forgot to mention, make sure to mention it down below in the comments. This is all for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching and have a wonderful day.